Good morning, everyone. We are continuing here in the words of the Beis Halevi in his Maimar Bitachon, and we're speaking about this idea that a Yid, a Jew, will never ever give up hope, even when it looks like there's no place else to turn. There's no other chance that things are going to work out in the way that you are dreaming or that you want them to. But a person who is Beitech B'Hashem, who relies upon HaKadosh Baruch Hu, realizes that we are L'maylam in Ateva, we exist on a plane of existence above the laws of nature. And that means that even if, according to all of the statistics, as the Chazon Ish said, statistics is kfira, it's a denial of the Ribono Shel Olam, because a Jew does not rely upon the average statistics of this world. We're above and beyond all of that. Our boundaries are not confined by what the pollsters have to say. Rather, we exist in a plane that's way above and beyond all of that. And therefore, as we mentioned yesterday, that Yeshuas Hashem Kef Ayin, the salvation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, can come in the blink of an eye, which means when you least expect it. How many people in Shidduchim, when they were down and out and they thought they're never going to get married, suddenly out of nowhere they get a call from the Shadchan. They didn't even meet the Shadchan before. Once the Shadchan heard about them or saw a resume, calls them up, says, I have the one that's going to be your wife, or going to be your chassan, going to be your groom. And the next thing you know, 5 dates later, after 2, 3, 4 years of dating, where they were struggling along in each and every one, suddenly 5 dates later, the deal is made, the shidduch is confirmed, and they're going to get married. How many times did a person go to the doctor, they weren't feeling so well, and they had no idea what's going to be, and the doctor tries one thing and tries another thing, and this and that, and it doesn't work. And then they go on an off chance to another specialist, and the specialist does one added test, and in that test that they do ends up being the whole solution to the problem over here, and the person ends up having a refuah shlema, and so on and so forth. Parnasa, a person is down and out and having a hard time making a living, and the next thing you know, they make one small investment, and that investment turns into a larger one and another one, and they're riding on easy street before they know it. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to Klal Yisrael, you have nothing to worry about. Ani avicha kainecha, I'm your father, I'm your redeemer, I'm the one that takes care of you. I myself am not bound by the physical world. I myself am infinitely great, and I'm above and beyond everything that is material about this olam, about this world that we are living in. Says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, if you are attached to me, and one of the ways that we become truly attached to HaKadosh Baruch Hu is through the advent of Bitachon, that we rely upon Hashem, so then you can have the schos of being l'maylam min ateva, above the laws of nature as well. And the Beis Halevi continues quoting a verse, and he says, it says in the pasuk in Iyov, Hein yiktaleni loy ayachel, says Iyov that even if he, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, were to kill me, I would still yearn for Hashem, meaning if a person would find themselves in a perilous, precarious situation where it looks like it's doomed and it's over, still, says Iyov, I will yearn for the Ribono Shel Olam, because I know that his salvation can come at any second. Ubibrachos darshal zeh pasuk, and in Masechta Brachos, it says about this verse the following: even if a sharp sword is resting upon a person's neck, and the assailant is ready to chop his head off, Rachmana litzlan, a person should not refrain from davening for mercy, because at the last minute HaKadosh Baruch Hu could come and save this person's life. And this is based upon the words of Chazal that tell us that Moshe Rabbeinu, when he was caught after killing the Mitzri, killing the Egyptian, Paro wanted to kill him, so he brought him into his royal dungeon, and he was about to slice off his head, and he had one of his ministers there who was going to be the killer, and they put Moshe Rabbeinu down on a slab of a slab, and they stretched out his neck, and the sharp sword was on the neck of Moshe Rabbeinu, and they're ready to pick it up and to whack off his head at that moment. And Moshe Rabbeinu continued to daven to the Ribbono Shel Olam, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please save me. I know that it looks hopeless, and it looks helpless, and it's impossible that I'm going to survive such a thing, because once that he brings out that sword, some Afghani person who's going to come and just bring it down, I'm finished. But I trust in you, Hashem. I trust in you that you are going to be able to redeem me from the hands of the Taliban over here, and I'm not going to die, and I'm going to live because I have too much to do for Klal Yisrael. And at that moment, as the executioner picked up the sword and was ready to bring it down on the neck of Moshe Rabbeinu, as Moshe was davening and davening and davening and davening and davening, HaKadosh Baruch Hu made a nace, and the neck of Moshe Rabbeinu turned into marble. And when the sword came sailing down on his neck, the sword broke. Moshe Rabbeinu jumped up from the table and he ran off into freedom, because no longer was he at the hands of the executioner. He was Baruch Hashem, he was under the loving guidance and the love of the Ribbono Shel Olam. And therefore says the Beis Halevi, from this Maimer Chazal, from these words of our sages, that even if the sword is on your neck, a person that is Boiteich B'Hashem, he believes that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is always going to take care of him. Even if the phone is ringing in the background and it's interfering with our shir, we could be Boiteich, we could trust that it's going to stop ringing in a moment so we can continue to learn undisturbed. Abu Rabbi Sai, that's what we're saying over here. A Yid never gives up hope. A Yid never stops believing in Hashem. No matter what is going on, we know that we are Lamaila, we are above the laws of nature. This phone is not above the laws of nature, but everything else about Klal Yisrael is. And above the laws of nature means I have nothing to despair or worry about, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in His infinite wisdom, His infinite mercy, His chesed, the kindness that He does for me, He will take care of me in every situation. Have a wonderful day.